I want to talk about gratitude and being grateful. I had this realization yesterday, actually 2 days ago, sorry, I was talking to a friend. And I realized how ungrateful I was as a person, truly. I would remember moments in my life where I didn't have much, you know. A lot was restricted for me and very much things that I would like was always no, no, no. And this is a thing many people can relate to, especially from Europe or wherever else. Not everyone is fortunate enough to have families that can afford things. And I was in that case where I was not fortunate. You know, I was not in a family that I could allow myself to have anything I wanted. So when you grow up in that kind of strict atmosphere, the thought that would come into my head a lot would be, I'm not happy with where I am right now as I would grow up. There is a part where, yes, I embrace that unhappiness, so therefore it is a driver to push and do things. But I remember sitting there at times where I would not have much, you know. I was maybe 15, 16, 17, and I was thinking to my head, how can people live like this? In some aspect it's good, again, it's a motivation to improve your life. But I was not grateful with what I had, that at least I could truly eat that day. Fast forward a couple of years later, where I would have more things. I would be able to do whatever I want, whenever I wanted, truly. But then I would be put under a test. How will you survive without your employees? How will you survive without finance? How will you survive with a struggling company? How will you survive without this, which I didn't have before? Before it was me just being a random schoolboy. And when I was going through these tests, and you could compare the bad situation from here, now, or let's say in that situation, to before, when I was much younger and I didn't have much as well, to be very similar. And yet I was far more grateful in that second situation. But I equally didn't have as much. So it showed me that, my goodness, we are ungrateful pieces of shit. Truly. But I could only realize that with the fact that I didn't have it before. So the lack of something shows you what you should appreciate. So now the question lies, should I lose everything or not have things to understand things? Sometimes we do. Sometimes the advice from others and other experiences do not hit us hard enough. What I want to say is, thanks to me not having those things when I was young, and sure I should have been grateful, I was able to truly appreciate the basic essence of life. True friendship, brotherhood, who I really am as a person, what really matters in this world, food, finance, loved ones, how people perceive you. I think I fall sometimes into this image of wanting to be perfect. But you have to acknowledge that we are all imperfect. We can't be this crystal clear image to everyone. And we just have to be grateful with the cards we've been dealt with. Truly grateful. And I only understood this gratitude through being in Islamic culture. I think in the West, we do not at all appreciate things. At all. You do know, if you go biologically, we are supposed to get dopamine hits when we hunt and kill food. And now with the click of a button on my phone, I can order food and it will come to me within 30 minutes. And I have no dopamine effect. I don't have to hunt for it, I just get it. And yet I complain when the taste is not the same. Oh, but yesterday it was like this. Excuse me, you have no right to make these comments and remarks. And yet to add that it's not even your money, It was maybe your father's or your mother's that gave it to you, or your friend. Maybe if you had earned it through true labor, okay, you have an element of but even then you shouldn't. So gratitude like that. You know, in Islamic culture, there's something called adhkar. Adhkar meaning words of gratitude. To be actually honest, words that you say on a regular basis to show your humbleness and appreciation and what would be the word? Servancy towards God. You have this trend of now gratitude and appreciation and write these words, you are the best and whatnot, and be thankful. But do you really understand it? And that's why I say sometimes you have to learn the hard way. You will only understand when you do not have it. There's no light without dark, no sunshine without rain. The contrast is what brings the beauty. And that is true. So sometimes, again, looping the topics in together, you have to learn the hard way to understand. And you must be grateful despite your situation, whatever it may be. Because I was in that situation, the latter. And I had nothing technically. Nothing to be grateful for. Could have been a victim. Oh no, is this fault, that fault? Yet I ascended to the highest plane on the mountain. Sat there like a yogi. And just embraced what was coming. Thanks to gratitude. If you are not grateful, you will suffer for the rest of your life, jumping from thing to thing, trying to find that gratitude, that self-sufficiency within you that you will always lose. One more small point. I would remember times when I had nothing and I was in London. And I'd be like, how are people happy with nothing? And yet there are people who would trade everything, even though I had absolutely not enough food to even money to buy food, to be in my position in the UK, to be there, rather wherever else they were. And yes, you hear a lot of people say that, but only when you are in that situation and you reflect later on, you realize the true meaning of that. You truly realize that people would trade absolutely everything to be in that position. So I repeat, do not be an ungrateful piece of shit. Truly be thankful for everything you have. The fact that we are in this country, sure, it's 45 degrees. Am I safe? Do I have a place where I do not have to worry about things? Do I have a roof over my head? Yes, absolutely. Am I going to go out the house and now start complaining about the weather? Is that really how I should go about my day? The first intention as I leave the door to start my day, my conquest. Oh, it's hot. Thank you. Thank you, God. We have this beautiful sunshine that gives us energy. Be thankful or be forgotten.